Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today is Wednesday the 1st of May. I decided to run last week's vlog up until yesterday because it's the end of the month. It didn't seem to make much sense to me to run it until Monday and then start one that would sort of cross over 2 months, if that makes sense. So everything obviously you see in this vlog from now onwards this week will be like May's wrap up, if that makes sense. And May's TBR. So I just wanted to, my phone's not got much battery left, but I just wanted to very quickly let you know the thing I did yesterday before I get into bookish stuff, which I'll sort of come back and do in a minute. But I signed back up to Slimming World last night and I'm very excited about it. I was doing Slimming World a couple of years ago and I managed to lose 2.5 stone, but then my sort of migraines kicked off and mental health, etc. and it just wasn't the right time for me. I have ended up piling that weight back on and then some, so it's time for me to get back to it, and I signed back up last night. I've just been to Iceland now and done a massive shop, so I thought I'd show you. I've just sort of put like a poll on Twitter at the moment of whether or not you guys would be interested in seeing more about my Slimming World journey. And at the moment it's everyone's voting yes, which is really nice of you guys, because obviously it's going to be a big part of my life now, so with the weekly vlogs it's going to be a bit difficult to sort of avoid, but yeah, I just thought I would show you what I got from Iceland, because some of it's new stuff, some of it's stuff that I always get when I'm on Slimming World anyway, some of it I don't know the sim value for anymore, so I won't be able to tell you. It's stuff that I'll sort of have to look into, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you what I got. So let me just flip this screen over. Okay, so this is everything that I got. I got a massive shop. This came to like £75, but there's quite a lot here, and a lot of it is stuff that I'll be able to, you know, put in the freezer and just have for the days I get home and I can't be bothered to make anything. So I did get a massive pack of ham. I do love a good ham and cheese butty, or you know, a ham and cheese wrap or whatever. Ham can go in pretty much anything as well. I can do it with pasta, rice, anything like that. I also want to try these corn nuggets as well. I believe they're quite low in sim value and I do love a good nugget, so we'll see how they go down. I haven't tried anything corn based at all, so that's good. I got these 3 Slimming World meals. I got beef lasagna and 2 mac and greens. I do love mac and cheese and I do love like broccoli and green beans and stuff like that, whatever's in there. So I'm going to try those. So because I got 3, I got a free what is that, a veg pack. What is wrong with me? I also bought these 2 Tupperwares because my Tupperwares were always too small. I like a lot of food. Then a veg, I got spinach, I got some celery, there was a cucumber in there, I got some strawberries, some tomatoes, mushrooms, I got lots of apples, so many that the bag split. Oranges. I also got lemons and limes because you can use these for cooking, but I also like to have lemon water on occasion, especially when I'm first starting out with Slimming World, because it's nice detox and it always gets me a good result for my first week, which is nice. Then I got some wholemeal pita breads because apparently you can use these as part of your healthy extra B now, which is fantastic because I do love pita bread. And I also got some wraps, which I think are low sins, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to double check that. They used to be it anyway. I got some cheese, mild cheddar and mozzarella grated because it just makes life easier. I got some of these for treats. These are quite low in sin value. I'm pretty sure last time I was on Slimming World these were like a 2.5 sin value, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to double check that, but I got those. I got some chicken satays. Again, not sure on the sin value on these, but I'm gonna assume they're free, but I will check. Digestive thins. Again, can't remember the sin value. They might be half a sin each, I'm not sure. Curly Whirlies, 5 sins, always a favourite when I'm on Slimming World. I got some Viscount, I don't know how other people say those, but I'm not sure, because I'm sure I saw these on somebody's sweet treat bowl thing earlier on Instagram. I'm not sure the sin value on those, gonna have to check. And then I got this mixed bag. The Jammy Dodgers are 4 sins for the pack, and I'm not sure how much these are, so again I'm gonna have to check them. And then I got some ginger puree. I'm not a huge fan of ginger, but I like to add it into my food because obviously flavouring. And this just makes life easier. And then I got some of the Mayflower curry sauce. This is fantastic even. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. Got 2 tubs of quark. I don't use this often, but if I want to make some lasagna or something else, or I fancy trying something new, quark's always good to have in the fridge. 2 lots of tuna, because I bloody love tuna pasta. Some basmati rice packs. Yes, these have a sin value. Yes, it would save sins if I just cook the rice myself, but I cannot cook rice. I am an imbecile when it comes to cooking rice, and I fail every time. These make life a lot easier. Freddos, again, gonna have to check the sin values on those, but I reckon they're about a 5 or 6. I also got some red cabbage. I absolutely love red cabbage, and it's also a speed food. And then I got some chickpeas. Now, I don't know what the deal is with these, but I tried them recently for the very first time, and I quite liked them, so I picked them up. Oxo cubes, chicken ones, and then these just little bits that I needed. So kitchen foil, bin bags, freezer bags, and some toothpaste. So that was my Iceland haul. Obviously to sort of make up for Slimming World. And now I'm going to make some tea, and then I'll come back and let you know what I've been reading today and what my plans are for the week. So yeah. Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today is Thursday. I forgot what day it was then. So it was a really fast week until Wednesday, and then today's just really dragged at work. Obviously tomorrow's last day in work, and I'm finishing early tomorrow. I'm finishing at 4. But I think it's going to be a busy one at work. It's going to be a nightmare day, I think. It's going to be a long one. But I wanted to update you on what I've been reading, and I've also got some book mail, which I shouldn't be buying. What I should be doing with my money is renewing my passport. That's not going to happen this month. It's a good job I'm not going abroad. But yeah, I probably should be sorting that out and making that a priority. But okay, let's get into what I have been reading. Look at the state of this bad boy. It won't go away because I keep picking it because I'm annoying. Anyway, so what I've been reading, I started and finished, actually I read the first chapter last night, but I've started and finished this today. I listened to it on Script. Now I've only given it 4 stars, but that's because the audio version of this on Script, I don't know if it's old, but it sounds like it's being played. I know the idea is that part of this is being played on tapes, like Hannah's voice bit is on tapes, and I understand that, but it sounds like the whole thing has been done 20 years ago, if that makes sense. It just sounds a bit muffled. It's not very clear. I mean, it was okay, and I got through it. It was fine, but I've given it 4 out of 5 stars. I've really enjoyed it. There are a lot of things in this that have been addressed. Obviously, I've seen the TV show. There's a lot of mental health, depression that's being addressed. There's also rape in this as well. I would just be careful if any of those are triggers for you. But it's a very good book. I really enjoyed it. The audio is very good. Like, the process of it is very good, and I did enjoy that. Just not the quality of it. The quality wasn't very good. That's where I'm going with it. I think if you got it on Audible, it's probably better. I think there is a better version on Audible where they've like redone it, but the one on Script is quite old. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've given it 4 out of 5 stars. Very good. Very powerful. Yeah, it was good. So, 2nd of May, 2 books in. I didn't get to Peter Pan because it took me a while to get through that one. So I normally listen to my books on times 2, but I've had to listen to this on like times 1.5 because it wasn't very clear, and because of the nature of it as well, I just slowed it down a little bit. So but yeah, it was good. I'm hoping to listen to Peter Pan tomorrow and also start Game of Thrones, so we'll see how that goes. But I do have a parcel, so let me show you what I got. There are reasons for why I've bought these, but I think 2 of the reasons I can't really, 2 of the books I can't really tell you the reasons for why. Well, actually, no, I can. That's bullshit. I can tell you the reasons why. So, first off, I bought Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. I did get a e-arc version of this on NetGalley, but I haven't had a chance to get to it, and I just think it'd be easier for me to actually physically read the book, as it turns out. Actually, it looks very dialogue-ish, which is great. I love dialogue-filled books because they go faster, but the text is right from the top to the bottom. But yeah, I'm excited to give this a read. I have heard mixed things about this, though, to be fair. I know Kayla from Books and Lala she wasn't a huge fan of this, to be honest, but I am looking forward to it. It sounds very, very good. And then I got An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. I'm sorry about the pronunciation of that, it wasn't very good. I've heard great things about this. In fact, on the back, Barack Obama has written about it on the back. Fantastic. I'm very excited about this. This has been shortlisted now. So the sticker on here says longlisted, but this has now been shortlisted for the Women's Prize Fiction 2019. So that's the reason why I've picked it up, because I'm quite excited about that. I've also got, I already have it because I picked it up in a charity shop, but Milkman by Anna Burns, which won the Man Booker Prize. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. That's also been shortlisted for this award as well. And then I also picked up Ordinary People by Diana Evans. Again, it's been shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction 2019. So yeah, I picked that up. Another book that's been shortlisted for that award is My Sister's Serial Killer, which I read month before last, maybe? I can't remember when I read it. Maybe March. I only gave that 3 stars. I wasn't a huge fan. I felt like it was a little bit repetitive, and I don't know, I just didn't deal with it very well. But yeah, there is another one, but I can't remember the name of it, which is really, really bad. So yeah, I got these 3 books. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the colours of them, actually. I don't have many yellow books, so they'll be nice additions to my bookshelves. So yeah, that's what I've managed today. So I've read this, I've got some book mail, and I have some good news on the fact that I'm going to be an editor on a post-apocalyptic anthology, which is exciting. I'm buzzing about that. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, I am going to go. I should read, but I'm not going to, because I'm actually really, really tired, you know. I'm struggling a little bit with sleep, and I can tell because... Oh, that's my phone. I can tell because I have a cold sore coming on. I can feel it. So I'm very, very tired. I could do with getting an early night tonight. Whether or not that will actually happen, I'm not sure. But I've had my tea, so I had a Slimming World meal tonight for my tea, and then I had like a big snack bowl thing. In fact, I will show a picture over my face right now. For what was for my tea was the mac and greens Slimming World meal. I just added some chicken pieces to that, and some cheese and some red cabbage. And then on my snack bowl thing, I had 2 pink and whites, which are 2.5 sins each, so that was 5 sins, and a Viscount, I don't know how you pronounce that, it's terrible, which is 3.5 sins, which I found out today, and an apple, an orange, and some strawberries. So I got some decent speed in today, which is nice. So yeah, it was really good. Foodie day, I'm finishing the day on 14.5 sins again, which is the same as what I finished on yesterday. So I'm buzzing about that. I am going to the pictures tomorrow with my dad, and I'm unsure, because it is such a long film, I could do with taking some snacks, really. When I went to see it last week with Kirsty, I got like a massive box of sweets from this place called Doing Bits in Goulburn, and it's basically just a cardboard box, and it's just full of sweets. It cost like $6.75, and it was huge. And I just took 2 Tupperware tubs filled with sweets and took those with us, but I don't want to do that this week. Obviously I want to stay on plan, so I'm just undecided on what to do, whether to try and get to the cinema a little bit earlier and nip to Tesco. There is a Tesco next door to the cinema, and get some strawberries and maybe some grapes for in the cinema. I'm not sure. I want something to snack on though. It's such a long film, so I could do with something to snack on. And we're going to the pub for tea tomorrow, so I've already decided I was going to get gammon, but you need to be a bit careful, don't you, with the oils and stuff. You don't know what kind of oil that they're using, and you can't really predict it. And I'm not wasting sins on oil. So I'm going to have a jacket potato with cheese and beans and a side salad, because it's easy peasy and you can't really go wrong with a jacket potato, cheese and beans. So, unless they put too much cheese on. But you get 2 healthy extra A's, so I think I'm normally covered on that because I don't have milk. So it's always cheese. Always cheese. So yes, that's my update for Slimming World, for reading, for life, for books I've bought, for things I should be spending my money on. Yeah, that's my update for today. I'm going to go watch some Chicago Fire, and it's about, I think it's like maybe 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go watch an episode or 2 of Chicago Fire. I've watched an episode of Hawaii 5-0. Hawaii PD? That was a combination of Chicago PD and Hawaii 5-0. Same thing. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. I could do with washing my hair as well, so I might have a shower and then I may get in bed and possibly read a litre. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I might start a book. You just never know. So unpredictable these days. Even I don't know what I'm going to do next. So yes, those are my plans. So I shall check in with you tomorrow, maybe, if I get a chance. We'll see. Yeah, bye for now. Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today's Sunday and I'm just gonna wrap this vlog up here actually. I was gonna carry it on till tomorrow because it's bank holiday Monday, but as it turns out I have come across a readathon for next week, which is called Scallywagathon. I wanted to call it Swagathon then, I'm not sure why. Scallywagathon. It's just a week-long readathon that starts today until next Sunday. So I thought I would just vlog that in a separate vlog so that it all makes a bit more sense. So I shall let you know what I've read this week. As it turns out, I have read, everything I've read has been an audiobook this week, so I've got 0 physical reading done this week. I've been watching a lot of TV actually, to be honest. I've been catching up on, well, I've been watching Game of Thrones obviously. I've also watched SAS Celebrity Who Dares Wins, Hawaii 5-0, this week's episode. What else have I been watching? And then I've just been catching up with Chicago Fire. So I watch Chicago PD, Chicago Fire and Chicago Med, all 3 of them. And they do crossovers on occasion, but I haven't seen them for maybe a year and a half. So I do need to catch up on them, but Chicago Fire is the only one that's on Sky with previous seasons on as well. So I've been catching up on that. I think I was halfway through season 6 and they're now coming towards the end of season 7, I think. So I'm just sort of catching up on that. But once I get started, I can't stop watching it. And it is a little bit irritating because I feel like it's wasted time, but I also enjoy it. So I'm like, I shouldn't feel guilty about it because I'm enjoying myself. But anyway, that's what I've been watching. So I've been watching a lot more this week than physically reading anything. But I did manage to finish 5 books this week, which is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just to double check. It's not by any means early in the morning, but I'm tired. I've got a bit of a headache. So let me tell you what I read this week. So I read Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Then I read Sherlock, A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So then I read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This I read for, I've been reading it for the Avengers readathon. So this, is that the only thing I read it for? Yeah, it is, because I read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas for the Owls readathon. So I picked this up because, and I put it in the Avengers readathon because I loved The Hate You Give so much. Angie Thomas's writing is amazing. I've listened to both of them on script and I loved them. I think it's the same narrator. She's fantastic. She does such a good job with these stories. She really brings them to life and makes them so real, which I've no doubt that this somewhere will probably be somebody's story. and and also with The Hate You Give. This is the story of Brie, who's 16 years old. She wants to be a rapper like her dad was. Her dad was obviously involved with the gang side of things, and he ended up getting shot. And her mother is an ex-drug addict, and she's trying to get her life together, but it's a struggle in the family. Her brother started off at uni, ended up sort of, I think he did it actually. I think he finished uni, and then he's ended up sort of coming back home and working at a pizza store because he's just trying to make some money so that they can get on with their lives. And it's just a story of a black family trying to get through life, and a young black girl who wants to become a rapper and make something of herself so that she can help her family. And it's just such a beautiful story. Very well written. I absolutely adored it. It was very, very good, and I do highly recommend it. I do recommend listening to this one on script. There is some rapping parts in it, and the narrator, she does such a good job. I reckon she's probably not a rapper, but she does a really good job despite that fact anyway. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars for this one. Next was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. This is on my 30 for 30 TBR, but I also read it as part of Mental Healthathon. I read this for the prompt of depression, I think it was. So this is following Clay Jensen and Hannah Baker even. Hannah kills herself. She is suicidal, she kills herself, and she makes these tapes, and there are 13 reasons why she's killed herself, and each reason is associated with a different person. Clay is one of the people on the tapes, and it is the story of him listening to the tapes and finding out all of the reasons that Hannah ended up killing herself, and the reason why he's on the tape as well. It's a very powerful story. I have watched the TV series, or not season 2. I didn't bother with season 2 because I didn't know whether there was any need for it, to be perfectly honest. I felt like season 1 was a great standalone, and as much as you can enjoy a story like this, I enjoyed it. It was really good. Unfortunately, I listened to it on script, and I think the recording is quite old, so it was quite muffled and it just wasn't very good quality. And I understand that there's tapes sort of parts in it would probably not be good quality anyway, but just the thinking parts as far as Clay's concerned weren't great. The entire thing wasn't very good, but I listened to it anyway because I just thought it would be easier than reading it. And it was okay. 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. It was very, very good. And finally, I read Peter Pan by, I should know who this is by now. It is by J.M. Barrie. Again, I listened to this on script just for ease. And it was really good. I enjoyed it. This is the first time I think I've ever read Peter Pan, unless my parents read it to me as a kid. And I did enjoy it. I sort of lost it a little bit in the middle. It is very, very fantastical. And I just think I sort of lost it a little bit. Maybe I'm just not in a fantasy world at the moment, because as you can tell with the books I'm reading, the most fantasy you get out of those is Cinder. So, like, Sherlock is kind of fantasy, but not, if you know what I mean. It's real life. On the Come Up is real life, and so's 13 Reasons Why. So I think I'm just sort of maybe not in the right mood for fantasy at the moment. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars anyway, because I know it is a very good book. It's a very good story. It's very well loved, and I love Tinkerbell. I love Peter Pan. I love the premise of never growing up and it being a trap, because essentially it is. And I do love it. I enjoy this. This was again part of I read this as part of Mental Healthathon. I read this for the phobias. Peter Pan has a phobia of growing up, and it's called gyrosphobia or something. I'm not sure. I have mentioned it in the Mental Healthathon TBR video, but yeah, that's what I read for that. So I read 5 books this week. I gave one of them 5 out of 5 stars. Oh my god, 5 out of 5 stars. And I gave the other 4 out of 4 stars. So I really enjoyed those. They were really, really good, and I feel like I had a really good week reading, considering I didn't physically read anything. I enjoyed everything I was reading. So yeah, that was everything I read this week. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I hope you come back and see some more. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. I would really appreciate it. If you're not already, please give me a follow. Again, I would really appreciate it, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.